Hello, dear students. I hope you're fine with your families in your houses. Today, it's time for us to check chapters 8 and 9 from the book Next Door. The aim for this presentation is that you, students, will be able to read, listen, and comprehend chapters 8 and 9 from the book Next Door, as well as answering questions related to the reading. Also, you will identify structures from simple present and present continuous. Chapter 8, Space, the Final Frontier. As usual, before we start, we have to check the vocabulary related to the reading, right? This time, before we start chapter 8, we will check 4 sections: subject, verb, adverb, and phrases, okay? Let's start with the subject. In subject, we've got 6 different words. The first one, frontier, means frontera. It's the line between 2 countries. For instance, we've got a natural frontier with Argentina, right? Do you know what I'm talking about? La Cordillera de los Andes, it's a natural frontier because it divides Chile from Argentina. Line. In this context, line means a phrase or a sentence that someone says. Por ejemplo, have you heard in the acting context, in la actuación, when a person has to say a line from the script? Cuando hay actores que tienen que aprenderse líneas de su texto, right? That's a line, or that's the line we are talking about now. Next one, starship. It's a spaceship. It's a vehicle where people travel from, I don't know, one planet to another, maybe, or from the Earth to the moon. Next one, single. Single, it's a CD with one song. It's very popular these days because there are lots of singers or artists that decide to release a single, not an entire CD. ¿Ok? No es un CD común y corriente, sino que empiezan a lanzar canciones en solitario. That's a single. Miner. A miner is a person who works in a mine. Si recuerdan, hace un par de años, como 10 años más o menos, there was a very well-known accident concerning miners. Yes, los mineros. Next one, mines. The mines are the place where the miners work. The mines are holes in the ground made to find things like coal or gold. ¿Ok? Entonces, en estas mines, los miners work. Now let's go with the verb section. Here we have 4 different verbs or verb phrases. The first one says doesn't work. Creo que esto ya lo habíamos revisado en algún otro capítulo. Doesn't work. It means doesn't function correctly. Something, maybe an object, doesn't function correctly. Points. It refers to the action when someone indicates with the finger. It points to someone or something using the finger. Next one, throws. It means sends through the air. Okay? And finally, shaking. Shaking means moving up and down or from side to side. We are used to the earth shaking, the earth movements, right? When here in Chile, we have to live an earthquake, un terremoto, we feel the earth shaking. In the adverb section, we only have one expression, not yet. It means that something has not happened or is not happening now, but maybe it will happen in the future. ¿Ok? Algo que todavía no ha sucedido, pero puede que suceda más adelante. Finally, in the phrase or expression section, we have two. The first one, in relation to. It means en relación a in Spanish. And we can define this as the when we think about the position of two places. Okay? And next one, and the last expression from this vocabulary part, I'm sorry. It's not the same saying I'm sorry than saying oh, I'm sorry. No es lo mismo decir I'm sorry que decir I'm sorry. I'm sorry. In this case, as a question, I'm sorry means I don't understand. Can you repeat again? Okay, guys. Now, for you to read and listen to chapter 8, you have to click on the following link. Okay? This time, we are doing something different, something I hope it's more entertaining for you. And I hope you like it. So please click on the following video and then go back to this presentation. Tienen que hacer clic en este link, ver el video, that is chapter 8, and then tienen que volver a esta presentación. You come back to this presentation, okay? Now it's time for you to read chapter number 9, a phone call. So before you go to the next video, we have to check some words that might be strange for you and that will help you for a better understanding of the reading. The first word, it's an adjective, angry. What's the meaning of angry? It's when someone feels bad and wants to shout, very angry. Next one, in the subject section, we have flat. It's an apartment in a building. Then we have the adverb section and the expression a while. It's a short period of time. When you say, for instance, I'm going to sleep for a while. Voy a dormir por un momento. Then we can use a while. In the verb section, we have one verb, improve. It means to get better. When you are ill, cuando están enfermos, you are expected to improve, to get better. Se espera que ustedes puedan mejorar después de estar enfermos, right? So that's improve. Finally, in the expression box, we have the expression really. It means, do you mean it? ¿En serio? ¿Realmente crees eso? Do you mean it? Now, just as in chapter 8, you have to click on the following link. Watch the video for chapter 9, and then you go back to this presentation to answer a few questions, okay? Right, since you already watched the 2 videos for chapter 8 and 9, I want you to do the following activity. Put the events in order according to what happens in the story or what you remember from the story. So here we have some events, and you have to put the correct letter according to the order in which they happen in the story. Tienen que ir viendo, según lo que recuerdan, qué es lo que pasa primero, qué es lo que viene después. And in that order, here at the bottom, you write the letter. Les voy a dar una pista, okay? The first action that happens is letter D. Alex G fixes Owen's radio. But let's read all the events. Letter A says, Mr. Sterling calls Owen's mom. B. Owen feels the house shaking. C. Dad tells Owen the results of the history test. Letter D, as I told you, Alex G fixes Owen's radio. E. Alex G gets the ball back. F. Dad says the twins are a problem for Owen's marks. G. Alex B throws Owen's ball through the window. And H. Owen says he hates fried tomatoes. So if you remember all these events, now try to say what happens first, what happens after that. Complete this in your copybooks, please. So we all know that Owen writes a blog, right? That's what he says that he likes doing, right? Writing a blog. But what is a blog? Do you remember? You have 3 options. A game. B, an internet diary. And C, a physical book. Think about it and then go to the next slide. If you said that a blog is an internet diary, you were correct. Because in his blog, Owen writes about his life and what is happening at school and in the house next door. ¿Ok? Si se acuerdan, ese es el propósito. That's the purpose of a blog, right? Being like a diary, yes, but online. So, in this blog, porque como ya se habrán dado cuenta, todo el libro, cada capítulo, es parte de un blog, yes? And every chapter of the book is a blog entry. What is a blog entry? It's like a chapter of a blog. In each blog entry, you talk about different topics. ¿Ok? Por eso están separadas en entradas de blog. Porque en cada entrada uno habla de un tema diferente. Yes? That's the same that we do in our diaries. Cuando escribimos un diario de vida, por ejemplo, escribimos de diferentes temas dependiendo la fecha, right? But now let's take a closer look to a blog entry or the structure of a blog entry. Okay, this is the structure of a blog entry or blog post, okay? This is taken from the book. The title of this entry is A Phone Call. Then we have the date or the day in which this was posted, okay? After that, we have a brief introduction to the situation. As you can see in the introduction, we have mostly sentences in simple present, okay? Here, Owen is telling us things that always happen or that never happen, like in this case. Yes? And then there is a description of a situation. Something's happening with the mother. That is why he's using sentences in present continuous. ¿Ok? Entonces, primero lo que se hace es una introducción a la situación, a lo que está pasando o a lo que va a pasar después, y después se describe lo que se está haciendo en el momento. That is why we use primero sentences in simple present and then sentences in present continuous. I already talked about present simple and continuous, but in case you don't remember, here we have a brief summary of the structures for each tense. ¿Ok? Acá hay unos recordatorios para ustedes de cómo usar present simple y cómo formar el present continuous. Esto ya lo vimos, chicos, chicas, en la presentación pasada. Hubo una evaluación, pero in case you don't remember, here we have the structures, okay? You know that present simple is used for facts, habits or habitual actions, things that don't or won't change, and also for describing yourself. Yes? And as you remember, some adverbs of frequency that are used with present simple are often, usually, sometimes, never, etc. Yes? Here you have the structure for the affirmative form, subject, verb, object, or complement, the structure for negative sentences, subject, don't or doesn't, the verb, and the object and complement. For questions, we've got do or does, the subject, the verb, and the object. Okay? That's it concerning present simple. Going to present continuous, you know that you have to use, to form this tense, verb to be and the verbs with ing ending. Here you have the structures for the affirmative form, the negative form, and the interrogative form or questions. Remember, present simple, habits, facts, routines. Present continuous, actions or situations happening in the moment, right now. Things that do not usually happen, but that are happening now. So I think that now that you know the structure for a blog entry or blog post, and now that you remember how to use present simple and present continuous, it's time for you to do a very special activity. This time you will have to write. This is a writing activity. Let's imagine that you have a blog. Okay? I want you to write a blog entry describing one Sunday morning at home. It can be with your family or with your friends, and you have to say what they are doing, each of you. ¿Ya? Hay que escribir una entrada de blog. Yes? Describing lo que está sucediendo one Sunday morning, Sunday, weekend, yes, in the morning at home, with your families or friends, ¿ok? Tienen que ir describiendo lo que están haciendo. ¿Qué es lo que tiene que tener este texto? A title for the blog entry, the day and date, an introduction. You can mention the place and the people you're with in the introduction. A description of a situation. You can describe what your friends and family members are doing at the moment, okay? I will ask you to write 3 sentences in simple present. 5 sentences in present continuous. Estas oraciones, chicos, en simple present y continuous tienen que estar destacadas o en negrita o con otro color para saber que están incluidas en el writing. Y la escritura no debe contener más de 100 palabras. It's not that long, guys, okay? This writing must be sent to your teacher's email for feedback. ¿Ya? Pueden enviarle esta actividad a las profesoras, a la profe que corresponda, para que les dé un pequeño feedback, una retroalimentación. But this activity is a formative evaluation. Es solamente para saber cómo ustedes van, cómo, si es que han internalizado el uso de simple present, present continuous, para ver cómo usan las estructuras, and that's it. It does not have a mark, ¿ok? Es importante, chicos, que recuerden que todo lo que ustedes hacen para el colegio es por su propio aprendizaje, ¿ya? No esperen a que todo sea con nota para hacerlo, porque si nada fuera con nota, ustedes no aprenderían nada. Entonces es tiempo. This is the time, guys, for you to be worried about your learning processes, ¿ok? Entonces es importante que lo hagan, chicos, chicas. I hope you do it, ¿ok? Here I have a very short example of what you have to do. ¿Ya? Este es un ejemplo de lo que ustedes tienen que hacer, más o menos, usando todo lo que yo les dije. Yes? The title, A Sunny Sunday. The date, posted by Claudia, me, on Sunday, 11th October. The introduction to the situation. On the weekend, it is expected that we are resting. That is why I wrote, today is Sunday, and I am resting. I don't have to go to school. Y paso a contar lo que hacemos todos los fines de semana. Every weekend, my family and I have breakfast with my grandparents in their house. My grandmother always bakes bread, and my grandfather sets the table for the family. Yes? That's an introduction. Esto es como el contexto. Then I'm describing what's happening in the moment. In this moment, my sister Scarlett and I are preparing a delicious orange juice, while my mother is helping Granddad with a tablecloth. Eso es lo que se pone encima de la mesa. Yes, antes de poner la mesa, normalmente uno pone una tablecloth o un mantel. Yes? Father is carrying some plates and cups, and my brother David is making some coffee. Ahí estamos describiendo lo que está haciendo cada uno de ellos, y si se dan cuenta, las oraciones están marcadas en simple present with green and present continuous with red. Finally, some things to say at the end. We are about to eat. Estamos a punto de comer. And my family and I are having a great time. Eso, chicos. Esto es más o menos lo que ustedes tienen que hacer, pero describiendo lo que hace su familia un domingo por la mañana y lo que está cada miembro de su familia o sus amigos, depende con quién lo pasen, lo que ellos están haciendo. Por eso se les pide el uso de present continuous, things happening at the moment. Ya, esta es la parte que quería comentarles. If you want, your writing can be published in a real blog. Chicas, chicos, creé una página de blog donde si ustedes están de acuerdo, si ustedes quieren, estos mismos escritos que nos manden y que les vamos a decir que está bien, que está mal, cosas que vamos a corregir, puede ser publicadas en el siguiente link. mysundaymorningsmi.blogspot.com. That's the blog, ¿ok? Ahora, como comprobarán, el blog no tiene nada, pero una vez que ustedes nos manden los escritos, si ustedes están de acuerdo, podemos publicarlos ahí como un blog real. ¿Ya? Espero que se motiven, chicas, chicos, porque de verdad es algo súper bueno. Ustedes pueden ver sus trabajos, es como una exposición, una galería de estos writings, ¿ya? Y ahí pueden sacar más ideas de los compañeros para escribir más adelante, se pueden ayudar, se pueden comentar, etc. So it's a good opportunity for you to write, to do the homework. And as usual, before you finish this presentation, you have to complete the exit ticket in your copybooks. 3 things you learned, 2 doubts and questions, and 1 opinion or appraisal about this class. Si les gustó, comenten. Si tienen dudas, lo escriben en su cuaderno. Si se dieron cuenta que hay cosas que aprendieron que antes no sabían, write them, okay? And this is the end, but now you have to continue with chapters 10 and 11. Este no es el final, chicos. Hay otra presentación con los capítulos 10 y 11, 10 and 11. Please check it. Okay? Thank you, guys. Don't forget to follow us in our YouTube channel for you and Instagram account. Thank you, guys.